Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to class. We are going to start laying down. You're going to need a strap with a nice big loop in it. If you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. If you have a strap, that would be nice. It doesn't have to have a loop. But if you do, go ahead and make a nice big loop. Set that down beside you where you can get to it. And if you want, um, this would be kind of just nice to take your blanket either long ways or part way and just go ahead and lay on it because we're going to go from our backs to our sides. And it would be nice to just have a little bit of cushion, especially once we lay on our sides. And if you need or want a very small something under your head, feel free to do that as well. And then come on down. To your backs. If you want, again, you can have the legs straight for a moment just to check in. A lot of times I'll start this way and then see how my body feels uh, at the end of class in this position, in this pose, and just kind of see what feels different, if anything. The arms can be out along your sides. Back of the neck is nice and long. And just take a nice deep breath in and let it go. Deep breath in, everyone. And an exhale. Good. And then stay with your breath here. If you want, maybe you take one hand to the low belly and one hand to the upper belly or chest. Let the elbows and the arms be heavy at your sides. And pause here. Nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. Start to feel yourself becoming centered on your mat, in your body, your yoga practice already in full swing. Good. Start to bend the knees, place your feet on the floor, your arms out in cactus position. And again, allow just some opening through the chest, through the shoulders, maybe. Notice where your back is in the space and just start a few pelvic tilts and tucks. Let's just start to loosen up here some. If it bothers your shoulders for your arms to be in this position, feel free to change that. You can have the arms down at your sides or overhead, whatever feels good. So tilting and tucking the pelvis, rolling over that sacrum, and breathe. And then come to neutral and just kind of imagine doing a circle with the pelvis, but on the floor. So it's a little tuck, a little tilt, a little rock to the left and to the right, but just staying in the pelvis area, just circling around the sacrum, and then change direction. Noticing how the back moves, the ribs shift, everything really moving, even though we're focused on the pelvis. And then take that back to neutral. Keep the upper body really soft. Bring the right knee to your chest. Keep the left foot on the floor and press straight out through that left leg or that right leg, straight out toward the end of your mat, and bring it back in. So again, doing just warm up for the hips, seeing where we're at this morning, exploring, bringing the knee in and straightening it a few more times, warming up the hips. Good. And then that same knee straighten the leg like you did before, but then just maybe bring it out to the side, bending the knee and doing a little knee circle with that leg, just working around the hip a little bit. One more. And place that foot back on the floor. Go to the left leg. Bring that knee to your chest. And then press it straight out and just bring it in and out. Right? Just kind of lubricating the joints as if we had a little oil pan and we're squirting a little oil in there, getting everything loosened up. Maybe one more there. And then straighten the leg and bring it into a wide knee circle. Couple more. Good. Place that foot on the floor. Bring your right knee to your chest. Grab your strap. Take the strap around your foot and take that leg up toward the ceiling. If your hamstrings are open enough early in class, you can straighten the left leg. Just hold here for a moment. One hand on either side of the strap. Breathe, just right? So depending on what we're doing this time of year, right? Depending on where your stress levels are, our body kind of tightens up. John and I've been bike riding, starting our bike riding again. And so hips and legs get pretty tight till we get used to it. So right leg is up. Take the left arm overhead, palm is face up. And feel the stretch from the left foot to the left arm, everything nice and long. And then release the left arm, take the right leg out to the right and just hold here. Have a lot of control. Try to keep the left hip down toward the floor. If it lifts a little, oh, that's okay. But try not to roll all the way, just stretching the inner thigh of the right leg. And take that leg up, bring it across, grab the strap. Oh, grab the strap with your left hand and just bring that leg across the right leg a little bit. Doesn't have to go very far to feel the sensation, the stretch, right? It's almost for me a little nervy because the hips can get so tight. Deep breath. Take the leg up, bend the knee, release your strap. Switch sides. The strap goes around the left foot. Right leg can be straight if that makes sense for you. Don't force that. And just hold here, one hand on either side of your strap so that the foot is nice and level and the shoulders are level. Just feel that, right? Nice deep stretch. Taking the breath in and letting it go. Breathe. Good. Then take strap in the left hand. Take the left leg out to the side. Always a wall in my way. Breathe. Notice, right? Can the left leg be straight-ish here without hyperextending? Hold. And the leg comes up. Grab that strap with the right hand. Woo, come on over. Stretch it out, everybody. Inhale, center. Exhale, release. Just straighten both legs. Check it out. See how the legs, the low back in particular feels, right? Already everything feels a little bit more even to me. And then bend both knees. The strap goes around both feet. If you have a strap, if you have your strap in a loop, go ahead and open up the legs out to the side. You can let go of the hands. If your strap doesn't loop, just hold on to the edges. Good. And again, notice, right, as the legs straighten, we stretch out, press through the strap. If you need some low back support, take those hands underneath your sacrum. Oh, and just breathe. Maybe take both arms overhead, maybe at a little bit of a diagonal. Maybe close the eyes, just feel the sensation here. If your legs want to buckle or bend, or hands under the sacrum would be really appropriate there to help support you. Good. Keep pressing against that strap. Feel the work. Softness to the back of your knees. Good. And then reach up, grab that strap, bring those legs together, turn the soles of the feet to each other, and walk those heels down toward the groin. The feet are still lifted, but the knees are out to the side. Variation of Baddha Konasana here. And then bring the knees together, release your strap, set your strap aside, everyone, and turn on to one side. Good. Maybe that feels really nice in those hips and legs already. So you're turned on to one side, whichever side makes sense for you. Make sure your head is cushioned with your arm, your pillow, your blanket, your block, whatever you need to have nice, easy alignment. The knees are bent at 90 degrees, straighten the top leg. So we're straightening the top leg. The toes are pointing down toward the floor. The belly is toned in. The hips are stacked one on top of the other. And I want you to just lift that leg. Woo, and hold here for a moment. And breathe. And again, right, what are we feeling here, right? Maybe the glute here, maybe the outer hip, maybe the tensor fascia lata. Who knows, right? Breathe, hold, keep holding, keep holding, keep holding. And then lower the leg by half, but still hold. Tuck that belly in. Keep the hips from either rolling back or rolling forward, and just hold here. And then turn the toes so they point up toward the ceiling. Lift that leg all the way up to the ceiling. Listen up. Depending on you, you're either going to bend the knee and make a big circle, or you're going to be able to straighten the leg out to the side, circle, turn the toes back up and down. So be sure you're paying attention. Take good care of that hip joint. The knee bent works just as beautifully as the leg straight. Good. One more big, big, big circle here, everybody. And then lower that foot down to the floor. This is a big stretch for some people. So we're stretching that outer hip line. Take the top arm up and overhead. Whew, and stretch. That hand can hover above the floor. If you want to bend the elbow and take the fingertips to the floor, that's okay too. Good. Take the arm up, take the leg up, hold. If you can, you're either going to grab your toes or your shin or even behind the knee. Again, no strain here. The shoulder should feel heavy of that reached arm. Whew, good. Let go of that toe. Slow, slow, slow. Lower it down to the floor. Bend the knee, stack one knee on top of the other, and switch sides. Bend the knees. It's one of those days. I got so much sleep. I feel like I should go back to sleep. So you're back in that 90-90, the belly slightly toned, straighten the front or the top leg, turn the toes down and lift. Good. Notice if you want to roll forward, right, with that top hip. Try to keep your hips stacked one on top of the other, but keep the toes pointing more down. Don't lift any higher than that hip joint is going to allow, or those muscles will allow. Woo! Interesting, right? Always one side, a little bit more so than the other. Press down through the leg that's on the floor. Breathe, and then lower halfway, but still hold. Still tuck the belly in a bit. Just working through a little bit of endurance here, right? As we hold that muscle, as we work with the glute and the hip. Breathe, pressing through the bottom leg, staying grounded. And then turn the toes up, lift all the way up. And then remember again, you can bend the knee or keep that leg straight. Do a nice big circle. I didn't say this on the other side, but if you feel a clicking noise, please change your circle, okay? That's generally speaking, mostly a tendon that pops over a bone, and we don't want to do that, right? Even if it's harmless, we don't want to irritate the tendon. Ooh, good. Breathe. One more big circle. And then turn the toes, lift them up. Maybe you grab your toe, your shin, the behind the knee, the thigh. Big deep breath. Good. Let go of that toe. Release the leg. Let that foot come all the way down to the floor. The top arm goes overhead. Just a little stretch here of that hip. And release, everybody. Bend the knees. Press all the way up to a seat. Aren't you glad I had you put a blanket down? That felt so much better. And roll out those shoulders. And then take the arms up. Exhale, one hand down. Let's stretch. Breathe. Inhale up. Exhale the other way. And inhale up. Exhale those hands to your heart and then shake those out. Arms come to cactus. Let's turn everything to one side and just, excuse me, just pause for a moment. One hand down, the other one behind you, just brushing the floor, seated twist, nice and easy. And release, arms up, cactus, twist, and the hands come down, open up those shoulders. Deep breath. Good, release, arms up. Exhale, release. All right, so if you are sitting cross-legged and can sit this way, the next one is for you. If you cannot, if your knees don't bend that way, instead, I want you to do windshield wipers, okay? So you have a couple choices there, but go ahead and sit cross-legged how you normally would. Take your front leg and just see if you can bring it in and then slide your bottom leg over. So it's not like a lotus pose. It is a shortening in of the legs, right? Almost to the point of fire log, right? I'm almost in fire log pose where the shins would stack. And where do we feel this? Oh, right? I feel it in both hips are getting a stretch, maybe more so on the top knee. But so we're bringing the knees in, which stretches those hips out a little more. Nice big deep breath. Try to soften. Any amount of this, by the way, is fine. And even just cross-legged and wide is okay. Good. Lean back. Come back to your normal because there's a normal for us, a way we always sit. And then switch the other foot in front. So you may hang out right here because it is not our normal. You may feel a sensation in that opposite hip. If you're okay, you're going to take the top leg in, you're going to slide the bottom leg over, and you're going to shorten the amount of crisscross happening almost into fire log. Fire log is a great pose, but it's pretty difficult for a lot of people, a little bit too much on the hips. This is super accessible because you can find the distance that works for you. So sit up really tall, everybody. Big deep breath. Sometimes we just have to be patient, right? We have to give the body a chance to, right? To know it is safe, know it is just checking out some new sensation, no big deal. All right, lean back. I want you to come back to the first side. So stay wide again. If you are still not crisscrossing, right? You were doing this. So the second one for you all is feet together, knees together, and doing this. All right. So they both they're different, but they both work for different things. All right. So if you are cross-legged, stay here for a moment. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands forward. Press the hips back, but avoid rounding the upper back. Yeah, there you go, Lynn. And breathe. Some of you are going to be here. Some of you are going to walk those hands out. Some of you are going to come down flat. Just some easy, mostly easy seated hip stretches. Just taking it a bit slow. Good. Lift the head, neck, and chest. Walk the hands back purposefully. Lean back, switch your legs. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, hands forward again. Check it out first. Walk the hands out only if it makes sense for you. Come down to head, neck, chest only if that makes sense. Good. Walk it up. Whew. Really straighten those legs. Give it a good shake. Whew. All right. Nice job, everybody. Let's come to table pose. I would probably take the blanket and fold it back into a shorter one for your knees, just so it's not in the way of your hands, so you don't get slippy. Your blocks are toward the front of your mat. I want you to very simply just tuck and tilt just for a sec. Just moving that pelvis again. And then do the same thing we did on the floor, which is see if you can figure out a little weird circle, not forward and back, but side, down, side, and up. So you're really moving through the sacrum, the pelvis, right? The lower back, switch directions. Where's our movement this morning? And release. I want you to take your whichever leg makes the most sense. Maybe it's your left leg. You're going to take it out to the side. So I'm on my right knee. My right knee is lined up with my right hip. If you're okay here, walk the hands up and come on up. So gate pose, right? An interesting pose for a lot of people. We do want to pay attention to this hip joint again. If one, you're here and you're just going to take a hand just a little bit down the leg and reach up and over with the other arm. If you're okay here, stay here. If you want to go a little lower with that hand, go ahead. So we're doing a couple different things here, stretching side body, but also stretching inner thigh of the extended knee. Just watch the knee here. No weight, no stress on that outer knee. Inhale, both arms up. Take your, so this is my right leg. Take your other hand or your right hand to the side hip. So I'm pressing into the hip to help keep balance. Taking the other arm over. Release. The hands come back down to the floor. Hold it right here. If your left leg is extended, your left arm goes up. So whichever leg is extended, doing a nice little side twist here. Deep breath. Release. Take that hand down. Release that leg. Good. Make sure you got room on the other side. We're back in table pose. When you're ready, I want you to walk the hands forward just a little bit. Come on, spit it out, Mary. And take the hips back. And big circles all the way around so that you put weight on the wrists, weight on the shoulders, arms. Big circles. Changing direction, maybe 3, 4. Both sides, loosening everything up. Last one. And come on back up, table pose. All right, same thing, other side, taking that outside leg or that right leg out. Just look at the left knee, make sure it's for the most part underneath the left hip. Walk the hands up and then come on up. For some, this is it, right? This is where we stay. It feels the most comfortable. Grounding that long leg. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, the right hand, same side hand comes down that leg. Even if it stays up here, you just don't put weight on that leg, if that makes sense to you. Ooh, big stretch here, everyone. Inhale, both arms up. Take the left hand to the left hip and stretch the other way. Take both arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Remember the same side leg extended. That's the arm that goes up to the ceiling. Finding a nice little twist here. And exhale, release. That leg comes back. I'm just going to flip back over so I have room, find my blocks. Have your blocks at the front of your mat. And then walk the right foot forward. Right foot forward. Easy peasy lunge. Your blanket's still there, maybe supporting your knees. If this is not such an easy lunge, take the hands up a little bit higher. Give yourself a little bit more space time to open up the hip. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest, maybe squeeze that back glute. And then very slowly, I want you to straighten the front leg. Ooh. Flex the foot, bring the toes toward your knee, stretch it out. Bend the knee, hold. And one more. Straighten the front leg, stretch it out here. Bend the front knee. Simply release and switch sides. Left foot forward, right knee back, starting in a lunge, your comfortable lunge here. The back glute active, stretching out through the front thigh. Breathe. When you're ready, slow, slow, straighten the front leg and then maybe flex the foot. That'll bring you back a little further. And release nice and slow, lifting through the chest if you can. And exhale nice and slow. And bend, release. Take that leg back. Set your blocks up front. Flip your toes under, lift the knees, hold here. Pelvic tilts and tucks. We played with this a little bit on Friday. Not a lot of movement. Keep the knees with a deep bend. And then see if you can circle. It's like almost like stirring a pot. I know this is weird. Hang in there, circle the other way. And then neutral to down dog. She's like, what is she talking about? Stirring a pot. Breathe. Pedal out your feet, everybody. Let's stretch out the back of the legs. Maybe bend one knee and hold. Release, bend the other knee, hold. Oh, that feels good. Good. And release, both feet go wide. I love that transition here. Feet are wide. You're in this down dog, stretching everything out. And then walk the hands back. Find your forward fold, whatever works for you. Bend your knees, take your hands to your knees. Come on up to standing. Whew, and roll those shoulders. Shake out the wrists, move your blanket out of the way for now. And grab your strap if you've got it. Step on your strap. You're probably going to want to stand sideways. Step on that strap. Do not have to use the strap, especially if it throws off your balance. Start to heel toe out until you can't hold the strap anymore and come into a wide leg stance. And then feel the pinky edges of your feet wrap around the outer edges of the strap. And just notice now, if this strap is throwing you off, balance-wise, please take it off. It is not necessary for the strap for you to get that same sensation of pressing out against the strap. Big deep breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Soften the back of the knees, but come halfway down, halfway. Squeeze through the belly, draw that lumbar spine, the long back or the low back really long, and then maybe let those hands come down to the floor. If they don't easily come to the floor, I should have cued it, but blocks can be there. Keep pressing against your strap, just like we did when we were laying on the floor. Walk the hands forward if you've got the room. Keep the heels on the floor and go into a wide leg downward facing dog. Press the heels out on both feet. Walk your hands back. Good. Turn the heel or the toes out, bend the knees, and come on up, hands to knees and up. And then take the strap out. Set your strap aside. We won't need that right now. And come on up to the front of your mat. Can you tell I'm like zooming toward where I want to go? Roll the shoulders back, everybody. Solid mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down. You can place those hands on your blocks. Nice forward fold. And I want you to shimmy the hips side to side. And then center, bend the knees, step back with the right leg, adjust your pose so that you're in a long lunge. If this is difficult for you, you can have hands on a chair or on your desk, or you can take the back knee down. Any of those is okay. So while we're here, I want you to look at your front knee. I often pay attention to the back foot, but look at the front knee. And then take the front hip, if you can, put a thumb in your front hip and roll the hip back and just kind of check out what happens both with the knee and your back foot, right? My back foot just shifted, my back leg shifted, my knee shifted, and then hold on to that hip. Like wrap your fingers on it and roll it in the other way and look at the knee. Okay. I know I teach this a lot, but I want you to pay attention. Now come center, look at the foot, look at the knee, draw that same hip straight back, like pull it back, but keep it lined up roughly over the center toe. Find your breath now, strengthen the back leg. Take that hand back to your block. Slowly straighten the front leg. If your pose is really long and you would like to drop your back hip or back foot, just shorten it up a little bit, but keep the front leg. So front leg is straight. This is a variation of pyramid depending on the length of your pose. And then just ever so slightly wiggle the front hip. So it'll go out, it'll go in, the knee will go in, the knee will go out, right? The ankle is shifting. And then find center and imagine somebody glued your foot to the mat. Make that leg really long. Bend your front knee, everybody. Whew. Step forward. Bend both knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Roll the shoulders, shake that out. Inhale, second side, take it up. Exhale, down you go. Find your breath here. Again, I want you to just shift the hips side to side. Think about all the attachments, right? Hamstrings, ankles, knees. And as you sway side to side with the hips, we're just doing little stretches all through those joints. Come back to center, step back with your left leg, find your lunge. Squeeze the back glute. And then again, look at your front knee. Shift the hips one way, the knee goes out. Shift the hips the other way, the knee goes in. Shift it to center, right? Take that thumb to your hip. Press that hip straight back as if you could deepen it. You can play with that hip, rolling it out and in, and then get really long in the back leg. Find your breath here. Take the hand back to your block. Slowly, and I do mean slowly, straighten the front leg. Where does it go? Where does the knee go? What happens to the hip as we straighten the leg? Again, maybe shorten the pose just a little so the back leg is grounded. Notice, right, if you play with the hip with a straight leg, if you roll it out and in, right, everything shifts a little bit. And then center and go long on your pose. Just feel the torso lengthen as the front hip presses back. Big deep breath. Bend the knee, step forward, and inhale all the way. Exhale to your heart. Shake that out. Good. Take one block to one edge. Take one block to the other edge. Put them both up nice and high. We're going to come back to those and step wide on your mat again. Actually, let's turn the toes out. Let's just do, because I don't feel like we're quite warmed up enough. Let's just do a few goddess. So inhale, exhale, bend the knees, elbows down. Inhale, reach up. Once again, just pay attention to where those knees are landing. You don't have to go this low. And up. Exhale. Inhale. Some of you out there going, I'm plenty warmed up. Thank you very much. And down. One more. and down. Hold here. Let those hands come to your knees. Roll those hips down. Look at the knees. Look at the feet. They're all lined up. And you can just sink down into those hips if it feels okay. This is another big hip opener. Breathe. And stand up. Now we're a little warmer. All right, toes point forward. You're going to take, I'll try to mirror here. Take your right leg, turn the toes, bend the knee. Okay, we go in this way a lot. And then widen the pose if you need to. So this is warrior two stance, also triangle stance. Want you to take your front block and just put it at a diagonal inside and, kind of away from that front foot. So your front knee is bent. I don't know if you can see that well if you're online. And then take the front hip and wiggle it again. Just kind of feel what happens if I roll it out and roll it in. Don't worry about getting it right. There is no right. Just explore. And then bend that front knee. Take a look at it. Take your right hand to your right knee. Don't worry about the block. Lift up and open up to warrior two. Look at your front knee. Look at your body. Are you leaning forward? Can you lean back? Take your hands down. And then notice pelvic tilt, pelvic tuck. Where are you? All our bodies are different. Some of you arch a lot more. Some of you are flat a lot more. Where's the middle space? What feels good? So come to that middle space. Take the forearm to the leg, extended side angle. Press through the back leg as if you were pressing into that strap. Find your breath. Good. Look at your block. Grab your block. Take it to the outside of your right foot. Take your hand back to your thigh, straighten the leg. Where are we at now? Triangle pose, right? See if you can lift the inner arch of the back foot. So we're planting that pinky toe down. One, you're here. This is awesome. Two, you're going to take it forward. Think about this front hip drawing back. Lower the hand maybe to the shin. For some of you, you're going to lower it to the block. Possibly that block is up really high. Possibly it's middle. Where are the shoulders now? Where are the ribs? Where's your lower back? Are you overarching, underarching? Do you feel any torquey, funky in the SI joints? Wherever you are, find the pose that makes sense. Upper arm goes up, triangle pose. Breathe. Smile. Good. Take the hand to the hip. Bend the front knee. Take the hand to the knee. Come on up. Straighten the toes. Whoo, heel toe in. Shake it out. So what I find in triangle pose is sometimes we'll get into the pose and either the ribs are spinning down, lowering the shoulder, or the hips are torquing. And so the SI joints feel funky, and that should not be. Okay, so if it's funky, if it feels like, ugh, change it, shorten your pose, come up higher with your hand, all the stuff you know. All right, so you're back in a wide leg. Opposite side, second side. You're going to take your left foot and point it forward. Bend the front knee. Find the length of the pose that makes sense for you. Look at your front knee. Front knee is pointing straight over the center of your front foot. Back leg is pressing down. The back arch is lifting up. We're reaching into that imaginary strap. And then take the arms out. And breathe. Again, where is it, Lynn? I would say take the front hip back some. Yep. And then bend the front knee. Good. Find your breath. Maybe straighten the front toe, the front foot too, Lynn, because it's kind of crooked. And maybe that will help the hip. Mhm. Good. Breathe. Press into your back leg. Everybody find that and then release the hands for a second and maybe just shift the hips a little. Where is it? Where's the knee go when you move the hips? Find center. Take the forearm to the thigh. Pause here. What does it feel like? Can you do a little pelvic tilt and tucking? Can that release what's holding this back or the SI joints or something else, right? And then find neutral there, find the bend in the front knee, take the top arm overhead, make it a long pose, everybody, long pose, fingertips to heel. Good. And then take the front or that hand to your block. Walk that block diagonally. Hold on to the block and shift the hips. Right? What happens when the behind comes in, that front hip or that back hip almost collapses? What happens if I go too far? What stretching? Good. And then breathe, hold here. Take the left hand to the left knee. Find your breath. Walk that block in. Take the block to the outside ankle and then straight in the front leg. Good. So some of my folks out there will tend to hyperextend. I would rather see a soft bend than that front knee hyperextended. Come part way down and notice, what does it feel like? Does my chest, my upper chest, want to roll forward? What's happening with the front hip? Maybe come down to your shin and hold. Do you feel stable? Maybe the hand goes to your block. Maybe the top arm goes up, triangle pose. Breathe. Can you plant both feet? Can you feel the length of this pose, creating all these lovely little triangles in the body? Good. Take that hand back to your hip, bend the front knee. Take your hand to that knee and come on up. And then heel toe in, grab one of your blocks. Take it between the thighs. Give that block a squeeze. So of all of those, I find triangle pose kind of tricky in that, right? Figuring out what the hips are supposed to be doing. No more of that between two panes of glass or anything. The back hip has to roll forward for you to not put traction or tension on the SI joints. So give that a good squeeze. That was a whole bunch of legs going in opposite directions. And release. All right, take both blocks to the front of your mat. Well done. Roll the shoulders up, back, down. Good posture, everybody. Find the legs in mountain pose, right? The knees are not popping back, but they can be straight. Lower belly draws to upper belly. Find your breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to your blocks. You could probably lower those down a little bit. Soften the knees and step back left leg. Breathe. Now, we're going to just pull all those poses together so you can stay here. You can come to the floor. So let's start with a lunge. Take your hands to your knee, lift up. Inhale, reach up. Find that sweet little lunge. Exhale, hands come back down. Turn the back foot to the side position. Check out your knee, check out your foot. Right hand to right knee, come up. Warrior two. Good. See if that back arch will lift. Forearm to thigh. Breathe. Take the top hand to the top hip, straighten the front leg. Walk the arm down. Hand down as much as you want. Open up the chest, spin the ribs up toward the ceiling, but don't overdo it. Squeeze that lower belly. Hand comes back to your hip, bend your knee, but then just look at your blocks. Take your hands to your blocks, turn your foot, push off and step forward. Bending the knees, take it up. Exhale your heart. Last one, reach up. Exhale down. Soften and step back, right leg. Front knee is bent. The front hip is rolling back. The front knee pointing over that third, fourth toe. Take your hands to your knee. Open up the shoulders and reach up. Find your breath. Exhale, hands down. Turn the back foot to the side position. Notice if that front knee rolled into the middle. Take your hand to your knee. Press up, warrior two. Breathe as if it is as if you could press that knee into the wall. Forearm to thigh. Reaching over, allowing the front hip to press back to deepen the pose. Top arm to your hip, straighten the front leg. Either your hands going to your shin, above or below the knee, to your block, and the other arm can come up. Find your breath here, everybody. Release the top hand, bend that top knee, put that hand on your block. Turn your back foot, walk your blocks out of the way. Downward facing dog. A lot of movement today. Pause here. Nice poses, everyone. And lower those knees to the floor. Release, come back to a seat. And breathe. Straighten the legs in front of you. Shake them out. Good. Let's just take one leg, bend the knee, step over. Flex the other foot, ground that other leg. Inhale, reach up. If you want, it's either opposite elbow to knee to wrap, coming into a seated twist, or the elbow goes either on top of or just outside the knee. Just coming into that seated twist again. Options here. One, you're here. Two, you're going to take the back hand, wrap it around your waist. Option three is to drop the top knee and find your foot. So this is a really weird variation of like a half lotus. Do not hurt anything doing this. You're still in a twist. Breathe. Release the hand, the foot if you've got it. Reach those arms up. Release the leg, straighten it out, and shake it out. Good. Same thing, other side. Bend the knee. Step it over. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist, either wrapping the knee or taking the elbow to the outside. The big thing about twisting or twists is to keep the spine long, right? It really doesn't matter how deeply you twist in my brain. Big deep breath. One, you're here. Two, the backhand wraps around your waist. Three, that front knee drops. And maybe there's a foot. No, not on this side today. What happened? Where's my foot? There it is. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't. Good. Breathe. Nice long pose, everyone. No force. Good. If you've got your foot, release it, release that pose. Whew. Release that leg, shake all that out. Bend the knees, take it out to the side. Just give me a little butterfly E, cobbler pose or butterfly pose or Baddha Konasana. And release. Let's come on back to our backs. I have a strap near you. Maybe have your blocks near you for Shavasana. And I want you to come all the way down. Oh, good. Just breathe. Get ponytails and things out of the way if they're there. Take both hands, one hand under each side of your sacrum. Soften the shoulders down. Take the legs up. So one, you're here, the hands stay there to help support your low back. Two, the arms go overhead, palms face up. Ooh, really stretching through the upper back. This has become one of my favorite poses, weirdly enough, just because it just feels so good on my upper back. I feel like I'm reversing gravity every time I do this. Another version, of course, is legs up the wall, so your legs are resting or being up on a block. But I've been really liking this one for the upper back opening possibility. But soften, don't make it so much, like soften the arms. If the legs are just too much, I would bend the knees and probably just let the heels hang down by the hips. And release, bring your knees to your chest, grab your strap, take it on both feet again and go wide again. We started here, we're going to kind of end here. Arms either out in cactus or overhead. And I just want you to see, is this any easier? Is this any less intense? Upper body fully relaxed. There's nothing happening there. The upper body's in Shavasana, the legs are still working. And breathe. And then grab your strap, pull the legs together, soles of the feet together, come to Baddha Konasana. And either let the heels hover like we did at the beginning of class. This is a really nice and a little less on the lower back, or control your descent by holding the strap and lowering your feet to the floor. Adjust the hips as needed. So a little bit of a bind here with that strap around the feet. And again, pause, see how this feels in your body. Make sure the lower back is long enough. If it isn't, just shift the torso or the hips. Find the breath here, everyone. Soften the shoulders. Release the Baddha Konasana. Bring the knees together. Step out of your strap, and I'm going to give you a couple choices again. We're going to use this strap for our Shavasana. And the first choice is you're going to fish your legs through. Listen up. and just tighten it as tight as you are comfortable, not super tight, but right around the hips, right where the tensor fascia lata is, or just below the front hip points. The second choice is to take your big loop and turn it into two loops. So you just have to kind of fold and cross it so you have two loops instead of one. Hold the near the buckle end so that doesn't end up on your skin, and fish the double loop, fish your legs through the double loop. One loop goes around the sacrum. Maybe we tighten that strap a little, and the second loop comes down along the leg. So you almost have a crisscross. And again, don't worry, you can't do it wrong. So I have one loop around the hip and one loop around the upper thighs, and I'm just going to tighten it. It's crisscrossing at the sacrum for me. And then maybe I'll take my blocks and stick them under my thighs. If you can get it tight, now my buckle is on my thigh, but it's not digging or hurting, so I'm not worried. If you can get the strap a little snug, right? It's like wrapping up, swaddling a baby, right? It contains these hips and these legs, so you don't have to worry about them. They're not going to go anywhere. And then that upper body comes fully back into relaxation. The legs are soft, and we find Shavasana. The eyes close. And maybe we take a moment just to go, this very moment is okay. And if you're going through something, know that you have to go all the way through it. If you are holding space for a friend, know that you can do that with an open heart. Just breathe. Quiet the mind, soften the belly. Soften down even more. Start to wiggle those feet a little bit if you're ready. Start to bend the knees. Either loosen the strap and shimmy out, or just leave it where it is, or loosen it but leave it where it is if it's not easy to shimmy out. And once you're ready, draw the knees to your chest. Just let the legs be heavy. And then roll the knees to one side, curling all the way over in fetal pose. And then pressing all the way up. And when you're ready, take the arms up. Exhale to your heart. Bow to your own inner strength and wisdom. Namaste. Thank you both. Thanks for coming. Have a great day, everybody.